Hello there, I'm Sconchulus, and this is TEPPEN Deck Teck, where I present to you decks that are fun, strong, or interesting. Today we are playing one of the strongest hero arts in TEPPEN that lacks an established meta deck. That art is Hey Nico, which randomly adds either a 1 MP damage action, a 2 MP halt action, or a 3 MP buff action to our EX pocket. Each one of these cards are extremely powerful on their own, and have the potential to be a dangerous toolbox at their strongest. The reason we are playing this art today is to help us get to a specific combo, as well as to empower that combo. Getting right into our card by card, we have one half of our combo, Devil Hunter Dante. When we play Dante and activate any one of our actions, he will transform himself into Devil Trigger Dante, a 4/7 with agility and flight. This card is game-winning in any deck, and in this deck we intend to push that to the extreme. The only problem with Dante is that he costs 6 MP, which means we are required to draw one other card to play him, that card being Cyclock. The one upside, at least, to being 6 MP is that Cyclock will make him playable even without evidence, making our combo as simple as drawing both cards. We also have one more extra combo piece in the form of Doll's Memories, which lets us seal the deal anytime we reach our Dante play. If we have no other choice, we can also use it as removal before Memory 7, and Hey Nico always has a 33% chance to basically replace it. With that goal in mind, we first need to survive until we draw both cards, which is why we are playing 3 Maggie Bird, a 4-drop 2/9 that protects us from any damage while on the field. Maggie has solid stats for 4 and collects 4 evidence on death, which can potentially let us play Dante for 1 MP. She is our best starter card along with our next card, Exposed Evil Eye. This card is perfect for our strategy, allowing us to build memory and reach all our other payoffs significantly quicker. The first of those payoffs being Jake Muller. Unfortunately, we are only playing 3 Jake and not the classic 8, but he is still very much the strongest 4-drop in green, as long as we can first hit Memory 4. Other than Evil Eye, we have a few more cards to help us reach Memory 4, the first of those being the Human Staple Bombast. This card either pays for itself or effectively cheats 2 MP. Either way, this card is gas anytime we draw it. Next we have Defensive Stance, which is actually a game-winning card against Denjin and Burnte, but is more so included to build memory and let us draw our combo pieces. Next we are playing 3 Wall Jump, because it is always a good thing to play good cards, and against red it can also be worth saving 1 to protect our Dante. We are also playing 7 Soaring Spirits, which combos extremely well with Jake, and using Evil Eye or Bombast before it can let us maximize our value off the card. As for our tech cards, we are playing 1 Open Cage, which is usually just a seal, but has the potential to be more. We are also playing the spicy tech of the season, Calculated Guidance. This card stops us from losing to Otani, but also hits stuff like Dan, Amaterasu, and Tube Foxes. These 2 slots are the most flexible if you want to play something like Ramen for the Road or Hidden Disloyalty instead. Last of all, we have a few ways to protect our combo in the form of 3 Negates, 2 Acting in Secret, and Maverick's Memory, as well as an Incident Uncovered, which allows Dante to return 1 time from anything that would defeat him. The remaining cards we play are the irreplaceable Larry Butts, who will protect our combo better than any other card, as well as 2 other win conditions, Killer Bee Strike Kami and Eastern Light Ayasu. If either of these cards get going with a few Jakes, we can win without even needing our big Dante combo. Here's the deck QR for you, and with all that said, let's get into it. Game 1, we are up against X Heart Tank. Hopefully, it should be a pretty straightforward game. It looks like we draw both halves of our combo in our opening hand, so those of you who just want to see how it works won't have to wait too long. We'll start out with Larry Butts, and our opponent will do the same. We will activate Cyclock, and our opponent will respond with Central Park Fountain, which allows us to activate Exposed Evil Eye, and they will activate another Central Park Fountain. Their Larry Butts goes up to 14 HP, and we are quickly charging our MP. We'll activate another Exposed Evil Eye to further multiply our MP boost. We can basically play Dante at any time, but I want to draw as much insurance and extra gas as I can for the combo. We'll play Maggie Bird down and activate Open Cage on their Larry Butts. We draw another defensive stance. We are currently at memory 4, so the card we draw off Hey Nico and both our defensive stances will be enough to bring us up to 7. We'll activate Gerbera to do a bit of damage to their Larry Butts and stun their Sengoku Titan. And we will activate Defensive Stance, drawing us into Maverick's Memories. Another perfect card to ensure our combo. We'll activate Defensive Stance, bringing us up to Memory 7. Our opponent plays Curious Cat Feline, buffing up their Sengoku Titan, and they will activate Heart Tank, doing the same. We'll play Jake Muller in front of their Sengoku Titan to potentially contest him, but it is a wasted effort. We'll take that as a sign that now is finally the time for Devil Hunter Dante, and we will target him with Doll's Memories. Our opponent activates Streams of Restoration, returning Curious Cat to their hand, who they will play again, buffing their Sengoku Titan even further. They will try to return our Dante to his original stance, but we have the negate. They will activate Poor Business Decisions, which we cannot negate at this time, but with Devil Trigger Dante at 8 attack, he is the only unit on the field that matters. We will activate Hey Nico, searching ourselves a halt action if we need to protect ourselves. Our opponent will play Mia Fey, which we can fly right over, and we will activate Ragtime. Our opponent activates an instant, but without anything to stop Dante, we take a style in Game 1. Game 2, we are up against Oichi Despair. Hopefully, we don't end up having our curse extracted. This time, we open one half of our combo, as well as Exposed Evil Eye, which should allow us to start drawing through our deck for the other half. We'll follow that up with 7 Soaring Spirits, a perfect combo with Evil Eye, allowing us to play a couple more units while Soaring Spirit is active. We will charge up to 5 MP and play Ayasu. Our opponent will play Zombie, and they will activate Rebel's Memories. That's what they are charging all their MP for. We will respond with Defensive Stance using the blue MP, and Ayasu is destroyed. We'll play Maggie Bird in front of their Zombie, and they will ascend it for Tube Foxes. We will activate Wall Jump, protecting Maggie from 3 damage, and we will activate Hey Nico, searching ourselves a 12 damage spell for whenever we need it. Maggie will defeat Tube Foxes, and we will play Jake Muller in the bottom lane. Our opponent will play Roxy, and they will play Nohime, searching themselves a copy of Combo. We'll play Jake Muller across from her, and they will play Priestess Rao in the bottom lane. She'll transform into Ninetales, and we will use Bombast. They use Combo on her, and we decide that the very best way to deal with her is just to play through her effect and destroy her with Gerbera. We'll play Maggie Bird in the top lane, and they will block her with Gate. We'll activate Defensive Stance, giving ourselves another shield. We'll activate Exposed Evil Eye. We now have both halves of our combo. We just need Maggie Bird to die, so she will give us 4 more evidence to use Cyclock and bring Dante down to 1 MP. Once we do that, the rest of our hand is completely stacked. Our opponent will ascend for Akuma, destroying our Maggie Bird, and we will activate Cyclock to do just that. Dante goes down to 1 MP, and we will activate Bombast to see if we can draw 1 more card to ensure our combo. We get exactly what we are looking for. We will play Cammy down first to destroy their Akuma. We will play Larry Butts, which we will follow up with Devil Trigger Dante, targeting him with Doll's Memories, which will bring him up to 8-11. Our opponent has nothing to do about it at the moment, and the pressure is massively on for them. They will activate their Hero Art, which will barely threaten Dante at all. We have all the insurance in the world to protect our combo. We will activate Tomboy to further buff up Dante. They will use Selfish Predation to destroy one of their units and heal, but Dante gets in for 10, and they have nothing to block his next attack, and we take a smoking Game 2. Game 3, we are up against the inescapable Denjin Renki. Hopefully, we don't get incinerated. Once again, we are lucky enough to open half of our combo in the form of Cyclock, as well as a solid starter, When Something Smells. We will activate Wall Jump, and our opponent is unable to resist the blue mana, responding with Fists of the Fire Wyvern. That allows us to use an instant uncovered, and our opponent uses Chain of the Fists. Now, once Larry Butts is destroyed, he will return to the field at his original stat line. Our opponent will activate Calamitous Eruption, which will destroy Larry's shield, and we will use Acting in Secrets to negate, which they follow up with Power Slash. The chain resolves, and Larry is still at 6 HP. We will get in for 1 damage and activate Exposed Evil Eye. Our opponent responds to that with Calamitous Eruption. That allows us to use 7 Soaring Spirits, and when the chain resolves, Larry is destroyed, but he replaces himself with Larry, who gains HP from Soaring Spirits. We will activate Hey Nico, getting the halt action, and they will use Chatterbox to do a bit of damage to Larry. The chain resolves, and Larry's health is now 9. We'll play Jake Muller in the top lane, and both our units will heal a bit of the HP. Our opponent will play Ill-Fated Queen Himiko and activate their Hero Art. Both of these together should be more than enough to wipe our field, but we'll see if we can put a stop to it with one more Jake. Himiko is destroyed, and she leaves us with only Larry. Our opponent will activate Collapse of Negotiation, which will do 6 damage, and we will activate Shield to protect Larry, which allows them to use Sneak Attack, getting in for 2 direct. This is the first damage we've taken this game. Our opponent will activate Chain of Fists on the Jake Muller we just played down, and his shield will protect him from that. We will get in for 1 damage with Larry, and our opponent will activate another Fist of the Fire Wyvern, targeting the only unit they can, Larry Butts. I consider using a card in our hand just to bring ourselves up to Memory 7, but I decided against it. We get in for a bit of damage, and we crack under pressure. There's no other way to get ourselves to Memory 7, we're completely bricked otherwise. Our opponent will use Sneak Attack, getting in for 2 damage, and we will charge up to 5 MP. Our opponent plays the Blue Badger and activates Denjin, and we will play Killer Bee Strike Cannon. We will activate Hey Nico, searching ourselves the halt action, and our opponent plays Veteran Agent Leon. With everything on the field, he's not enough to destroy Cammy, and our opponent will use Cherry Bomb. We can negate this, but permanently destroying Leon is worth letting it go through. We lose our entire field, and Leon is out of the equation for the rest of the game. We will play Maggie Bird in the bottom to protect ourselves from any more burn actions they might have, and get in for 2 damage. We will activate Defensive Stance to draw another card, and our opponent uses Provocation Legend. This will charge them another Denjin, and will bring us a little bit closer to Hey Nico. They will activate their Denjin, charging every card in their hand, and they will use Calamitous Eruption, which should destroy Maggie. We will play another Maggie in the middle lane, and activate another Hey Nico. This time we get Tomboy, and we still have the halt action if it somehow comes up. Against Denjin, it seems unlikely at this point. We will activate Tomboy, and the RNG gives us a 10 HP heal. Our opponent responds with Fist of the Fire Wyvern, and we get greedy using Doll's Memories. This gives our opponent the chance to use a highly charged announcement poster, destroying our Maggie. They start a new chain using Sneak Attack to strip us of our last shield, and they will play another Blue Badger. We will play Maggie Bird in the middle row to hopefully protect ourselves from a bit of burn. They will target her with Chain of Fists, which allows us to use Bombast. They respond to that with Power Slash, which will destroy Maggie. We get Ayasu to our hand, who we can play for 3 MP. We'll play him down, and our opponent has the easy answer in the form of Mortal Enemies. We'll try to negate that, and we draw into our last combo piece, which our opponent responds to with Headshot, and allows us to fire off Cyclock, lowering Dante's MP to 1. Now we just need a good opportunity, but our opponent will make it a little harder for us, firing off Denjin. We'll use Hey Nico to search ourselves something useful. It's just another halt. Our opponent will use an announcement poster targeting Ayasu for 3 damage. 3 more direct. Bit will also do a bit of burn to us off of Resonate. They will use Agent's Memories, getting in for 9 direct. We are now down to 6 HP. We'll play Dante, but it looks like it might be too little too late even once we make him transform. Our opponent will use another Denjin. We will use our halt action, and that allows our opponent to use announcement poster. We take 3 burn from Resonate. We'll use Shield to protect ourselves from the 4 that we know will kill us, but that just allows our opponent to Resonate 1 more time, and they will take a brutal game 3. Here we are again, and this deck is sick. When our combo goes off, the power level is unstoppable, and we get our wins in style. When the combo goes off. I cannot deny that this deck is a little bit inconsistent. For every game I showed with a combo piece on the first 5 cards of our deck, there was another where the combo piece was on the bottom 5 cards of our deck. That said, I think the level of hype when the combo does go off makes up for the games where we cannot find it. As far as matchups go, black, which would usually be the bane of any combo deck, actually has a hard time shutting down our Dante. Since he becomes a 9 MP unit, the only realistic answers to him are Sharing Memories, Rebels Memories, or a likely motive. As long as we run them out of at least a couple of those, we should be able to play our combo without any concern. Green has no efficient way to stop our combo, so as soon as we find it, we should be able to close the game against any green players. Purple does have Brainwashed, but as long as we keep that one card in mind, that matchup should still be doable. Our hardest matchup would have to be Red Humans, specifically with Hadoken, which is an easy answer to Dante. The deck has a much better matchup against Ultimate Weapon and most Dungeon players. If I were to suggest any changes to the deck, I would cut down on 1 Acting in Secrets, as well as Open Cage. These 2 cards are not relevant in every single matchup, and while the same could be said of Calculated Guidance, that card is so important for beating the current best deck that I cannot suggest cutting it. I do want to give one quick shout out to Dark Axel, who requested green-purple for this episode. As for the next episode, let me know down below whether you would rather see mono-black Bringer of Nightmare, or green-black Ashura Senku. Clearly I will listen. Please like the video if you liked the video, subscribe if you subscribed. Once again, I'm Sconchulus, and I will see you in the next one.